It is Monday, the 5th of June, and India is still trying to come to terms with a tragedy that killed over 270 people. I am talking about the triple train collision. Who could have seen this coming? The driver of the Coromandel Express certainly did not. His train had left Howrah's Shalimar station, Kolkata, around 3:30 that afternoon. Around 7 o'clock in the evening, his train was speeding at 128 kilometers per hour. It was heading into the night. And soon, the train would enter the Bhananga Bazaar station in Odisha's Balasore district. For the loco pilot, there was nothing special about the night. There was not anything foul either. His train was one of the 22,500 plus others running that night. Just another night in the world's fourth busiest railway network. The loco pilot saw a loop line approaching. There was a green signal telling him that the path ahead is clear and it's safe. So he steered the train into another track, and soon it was all over. The loco pilot heard a sound that split the sky. He knew there was a collision. His train, the Coromandel Express, had smashed into a goods train that was stationed in a loop line beside the track. Before becoming unconscious, the loco driver told a railway official that he did receive the green signal. Around that time, the passengers were building their appetite for dinner. Many had already opened the tiffin boxes or their dabbas that had been so lovingly packed for them from home. The smell of home-cooked food and Indian pickle intoxicated the air. Some of those breathing it were going to Chennai in search for work and with the dream of saving enough to build a house. Chennai was another 22 hours away. There were families chatting away loudly, young children complaining, crying. Amidst it all, there was someone writing verses of love in his diary, when suddenly there was a loud sound. A series of loud sounds followed. The compartments hit one another. Some hit the goods train. Some were flung into a third track. Suddenly, it was all dark. People began falling on one another. There was screaming, cries for help. Many saw what they never thought they would: their loved ones dying in front of their eyes. But the worst was not yet over. On the next track, another train was passing through the accident site from the opposite direction. The Howrah-Yeshwanthpur Express was 4 hours away from its final destination. Some of the passengers were catching a quick nap before they had to get down at the crowded Howrah station and jostle their way through the crowd. The ticket examiner in one of the last coaches of the train thought he heard a loud and abnormal sound, as if something was approaching him. And the very next moment, people were thrown out of their seats. Some of the derailed coaches of the Coromandel Express hit this super-fast train, derailing at least 4 of the train's coaches. 3 trains traveling on 3 different tracks found their fates colliding. To most passengers, that moment is a blur. The loco pilot of the goods train knows very well he would not have survived had he not stepped out of his station train for some inspection moments before the crash. And when it happened, those living nearby heard the screeching of the brakes, the sound of trains colliding and of disaster unfolding. They rushed to help. And when the day broke, rescuers found, among many other things, sheets of papers with poems professing love, scribbled in Bangla on a now torn diary. One of the lines read, "Little clouds lead to light rain, and little conversations to love." There is no word on whether the poet is still alive, or did he die in the tragedy without expressing his feelings to the woman he loved. What happened on Friday was one of the worst railway accidents in India's history. The death toll is nearing 300. Hundreds are still fighting for their lives in the hospital. The question is, whom do you blame? According to the preliminary reports, signal failure is the culprit. The train should have never been given the green light to switch tracks. But was the signal failure a result of human error, or was it a technical error? Was it a sabotage? There are no clear answers yet. The Railway Board is already probing the accident. India's Central Bureau of Investigation, or the CBI, is also being roped in. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi has vowed to severely punish the guilty. The last time India saw a disaster of this scale was when an Indore-Patna train derailed in Uttar Pradesh, killing nearly 150 people. In 2010, another 150-odd people were killed when a train derailed near Kolkata. Authorities said the disaster was a result of sabotage. In 1999, two trains collided in West Bengal, killing 285 people. The year before that, 300 people lost their lives in a collision between two trains near Agra. India's worst railway dates back to India's worst one dating back to 1981, when over 800 people were killed after a train plunged into a river in Bihar. India's colonial-era railway has come a long way since. It has been modernized, expanded, upgraded. Today, India boasts of a 68,000-kilometer-plus railway network. Indian Railway ferries over 3,519 million people each year. It boasts of superfast trains, safe and improved infrastructure, and Wi-Fi-enabled railway stations. Over the years, railway disasters have significantly reduced in India, but it's also true that India still has miles to go. According to data from the National Crime Records Bureau, there have been, on an average, over 23,000 fatalities from railway accidents every year between 2010 and 2021. In 2021, for example, there were nearly 18,000 railway accidents, resulting in 16,431 deaths. Of these incidents, there were 88 collisions and 21 derailments. Together, they claimed 108 lives. Earlier today, another train derailed, again in Odisha. This was a goods train. Thankfully, no one was injured. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.